We are live. Wherever this may find you, I hope you've had a brilliant morning, afternoon, and evening. For me, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. The boys are in bed because I'm a mummy of two. And I have a massive honour tonight that I want to share with you. So I'm going to introduce you to a very lovely, I promise you, you're going to fall in love immediately. You can't not. To a guy called Paolo. Now, his background, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's in one of the professions that have been most closest to our hearts, all of our hearts. It could not be for the past sort of 12 months. And now I am proud to say he is one of my extended business family. He is the most kindest, most humble bloke you could possibly hope to meet, who will help anyone at all. Hence why he's coming on tonight to chat to me, to tell you a little bit about his journey, which is in the digital business that we are both very proud to be a part of. So without further ado, I shall unmute you, handsome pants, and pop you on. Are you ready to come in? Here you come. 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hi. Did a lot the wrong way then. I think I did.
Yeah.
I did a lot the wrong way. Darn it. School girl error. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm so good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. Thank
Yeah,
you, sweetheart. Now, I know we've only got you for a limited time because obviously you're in Canada right now, yeah?
I am. Yes, based in Vancouver, so it's only quarter after 12, so just lunch period for us. And yeah, no, it's been, I miss hearing the English accent because as I mentioned, I'll tell you guys later, but I mean, Becky, I lived in England for a year in London, so I miss like hearing the accent. So it's nice to be able to get on here and hear you talk. So
I swear to God, though, I am so northern, which is so different to what you will have heard
oh,
in
is it?
London.
Yeah.
I'm proper northern. I'm from Manchester, So no,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very different. Very different. Oh, darling. So right, well, tell us about your background. So obviously, we're now part of a business community, the pair of us. But where did you begin? What was life like before this?
Yeah, so life before, doing the online business, my background is in nursing. So I've been a registered nurse for the past, my friend reminded me of this, past 18 years now. So it's been quite a
Bad
while.
friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did my nursing school. I grew up so my background is like I was born in the Philippines, but I moved to Calgary. My family immigrated to Calgary when I was an infant. So I grew up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And so I did my nursing school there at one of the hospitals there called Foothills Hospital. So I trained to do like thoracic surgery, respiratory medicine, and I did a bit of trauma surgery. So I did a few years of that. And then I moved to Vancouver. Well, actually, yeah, I moved to Vancouver, and then I did nursing there, and I worked at one of the big major hospitals there at Vancouver General Hospital, and I did thoracic surgery there as well, and I did that for about a few years. And I during that time I decided to travel to Europe and go on vacation, and one of them England, and then I was like, why not move there? I've got the profession to be able to do it. It took me a year to get my working visa, but I was able to get there. I was able to get there, moved there to England, worked in at Princess Margaret Hospital. So it's right in the central area. So I worked at the American Hospital, worked at a GI unit, and I love the city, but that work wasn't for me. Because going from very high acuity, I was dealing with very sick patients, to only being able to give up medications and do vital signs, that wasn't for me. Like I get bored quite easily. And so I got another opportunity to go back to my hometown in Calgary and work with the oncology clinical trials group. So I worked with the gastrointestinal group at Tom Baker Cancer Center. So I worked there for a few years. And that's how I got into a lot of clinical trials. Like I never knew what clinical trials was. I know a lot of you guys know about it now because of what's been happening. And so I did that for a few years, and then I moved out to Vancouver again and worked out there for at a place called BC Cancer. So I did the same thing, oncology clinical trials, but I was doing gastrointestinal, I was doing gynecology, I was doing sarcoma, I was doing brain studies, I was doing rare tumor studies. So I had a dabble of being able to experience all the different trials that are out there. And I burnt out. As nurses, like if you have any friends or families that are nurses, you see how exhausting their shifts are. And so with my role, even though it was a day job, I was dealing with a lot of sick patients, dealing with, their decision of trying to get on a trial, and you're dealing with the family and friends, you're dealing with the side effects that they have to deal with. And I focus mostly on gynecology. So a lot of my patients passed away afterwards. And so I'd had hundreds of patients pass away. And over those many years, it takes a toll on your heart and your mind and emotionally. And I just burnt out. And luckily enough, I realized at an early stage. So I quit nursing, which was a very tough decision because you're used to, having a salary every 2 weeks. You're used to having a union. And I switched over to apparently the dark side from what the health workers say, which is pharma. And
But
but
I
you know
think, no,
what? I did.
this is so you're being so humble about the thing, but it's for any nurse or anybody who's in such a caring profession, it's a vocation. It's,
Yeah,
you spend years of your life, studying to do this. And then even when you're on the job, there are certain aspects of training that need to be undergone for you to be, in the position of authority that you need to be in. But, being it's not just a physicality, is it? It's an emotional shift.
yeah, it
And
is.
so
Yeah,
I'm not surprised that you're burnt out, sweetheart. I'm really not.
yeah.
And go on,
And
what was the dark side?
the dark side. Well, it was
Can you
the
say it on air? Is it
yeah,
weird?
yeah. No, I work. I actually work for Bristol Myers Squibb, so one of the biggest BMS, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies out there, and it was a
You,
great
you sell
corporate.
drugs now. You sell drugs
Yeah,
now. This is
yeah,
where we're at, yes?
yeah. But
It could have been
it
worse in
was.
my head. Paolo, I had you like, I don't know, in a strip club somewhere. It could have
Yeah.
been anything. Go on.
But yeah, it was definitely a great experience because I was doing clinical trials as well, but I was auditing on the other end. So I was just basically auditing the work that my colleagues were doing because it's looking at real-time data, and so that's what I was doing every time. So I was traveling a lot between my British Columbia and Alberta, the provinces, and I was working. Even though I worked from home, I mean, I it was a blessing to be able to know how to work from home because this is the job that helped me kind of build the foundation to be able to work from home, like with the online business. And so it really helped that foundation. But I burnt out after a couple of years, and to the point that my vision got affected. Where my vision was blurry for 2 to 3 hours after I was done work because I'd be on the laptop for about 10, 16 hours a day, and it was just too much for me. And so I was like, do I continue doing this or do I find something else better? So I quit again. I quit that and I said, you know what? I did the 2 years. If ever I want to go back to that role, I have that experience on my belt.
Yeah.
And I went back to my old job again, but I worked as a casual. I took a temporary mat line, knowing that after a year it'd be done. And so I did that for a bit. And then afterwards, I switched to casual as my business started growing. And so I wanted to focus more on my business after the fact that I finished that maternity line.
So
Um,
did you, darling, did you see the online, were you looking for something else when this came in? Was this always sort of like a something like an add-on? Is that what
Yeah,
you
so it was more of an add-on. Yeah, so I'll backtrack to that. I apologize, so I didn't add that part. So sort of the reasons why I got into sort of the online business and started as a side hustle is because first of all, I burnt out. Second of all, even before that burnout, I experienced a really severe neuromuscular disorder that came on about the age of when I was 33, so about 7 years ago. So it's that rare neuromuscular disorder called dystonia, and it's a part of the brain that affects that sends out signals to the part of all your body. And so there was that part of the brain was sending too much to my neck. So it's called cervical dystonia. And so basically, I lost full control of my head movement. It literally felt like somebody had a remote control and was moving my head to the right whenever they wanted to. And it wasn't a very gentle turn. It was a very rough, like turn where I had no control. It felt so alien, like
scary?
scary and alien because it's a weird experience to have no control over your body. And so it happened very acutely, which is like very quickly. So it happened early February. And then within a matter of 8 weeks, I went from being healthy, independent to becoming a dependent. Like my mom flew out for my birthday because my birthday was at the end of March. She would just plan and come for the weekend. And she stayed for 4 months to help me because I couldn't feed myself. I had trouble dressing myself. The only comfortable position was for me to lie on bed because until I got my treatment, which is Botox. And so the Botox takes about 6 weeks because it would happen so quickly that my muscles were just really intense. And so I went through rehab and physio and massage therapy for I did 2 years of it to be able to like get my neck straight again and have control of
Madness. That is
my,
crazy.
yeah. So the reason why I brought that up is because I remember lying in bed, um, bawling my eyes out, going online and just seeing all the horror stories of like how you don't hear about this because many people are just so debilitated that they just stay in bed and they don't leave their homes. And I thought to myself, is this the life I was going to live? And at the same time, I was worried about, because like I just moved into a new condo in downtown Vancouver. So I was worried about, is my partner going to be able to help pay for the mortgage? Like, who's going to, like, am I able to go to the gym? How am I going to drive again? And so I thought that was my life. And I never thought for once to be able to just focus on recovering because I was so worried about the bills and just all the other stresses. And
Which is normal life, isn't it?
yeah,
That's the first thing that runs through your head is I can't do this,
yeah,
especially going from such a busy man, to that, to be all of a sudden. Do you know, it must be so frightening. And I think a lot of people that are in this business have had something quite quite massive happen to them to go, God, thank God I've got this.
yeah,
Because no matter where you are, what situation you're in, this is online. And because of the automated system, it's so much easier to do
yeah,
than anything else. But wow, that must have been so frightening,
yeah.
sweetheart.
Yeah, so that is what motivates me to keep going whenever I feel like I want to give up because I remember my mom helping me even like when I started leaving the condo. And it would take me about a couple hours just do my daily activities to just shower, eat, get ready. We'd step out of the condo and I walk a block and I told her I can't do it anymore because I was just so exhausted, just with trying to stay focused and move my head properly. But I did that every day. So she's like, okay, that's fine. They'll try it again tomorrow. So the next day we tried just a little bit, few feet, and it just progressively got better and better. And so I always remind myself with this business that whenever you get sort of the down moments and think that you can't get through, I said, you know what, Paulo, you got through that shit. Sorry, you got through that crap. You can get through this. And
You can
so,
do this.
yeah, yeah. And so that was
And
one
by
of
the
my.
way, your mum sounds amazing.
No, she's
All
awesome.
hail the mum.
And that's the other reason why I want to do this business is also for her because I remember her like growing up, she bought us whatever we wanted for Christmas. She worked overtime. And unfortunately, like over the last few years, she ended up separating from my dad and she was reliant on him financially. And so she only has her pension money to be able to help her, on her monthly expenses. But, you know, when it comes out of it, she only has a few $100 left. And that's not enough for her to be able to see her family and friends in like the Philippines or out in Canada or the US. So I want her to be able to enjoy a nice retirement. And so that's one of the reasons why I want to do this business. And I want to be able to help other people. I want to be able to help connect people to show them that there is something better out there as well. I mean, we're taught to work, those 9 to 5 day jobs, and that's all we have. But people are not realizing what is out there in the online space. Like, yes, there's a lot of scams out there, but there are a lot of good things that are there too as well in online space. You just need to connect with the right people, the right community, right mentors and coaches, and that's something that we have with this business community. I'm forever grateful. And like when I ran across this business is about 4.5 years ago, and it was just at that point where I'm like, I need something. I can't keep doing what I'm doing because it's not leading me to, financial or time freedom because I'm still trying to, even though nurses make really good money, the cost of living I find is just going up and up. And it's like, you're just trying to get ahead and try not to get in a lot of debt, but it's a struggle. And that's what's like, that's when I realized things need to change. And that's when I decided to start this side hustle, which eventually turned to sort of like a full-time thing. And then afterwards, but like it's allowed me to, like, I know I mentioned before, not here, but like it's allowed me to work as a digital nomad. Like back in March during the pandemic, like when everything was happening, I was down in Mexico. I worked down there again last year for a few months in Mexico, and was able to focus on the business and just, you know, have that flexibility to be anywhere that you want and work anywhere that you want and still earn a living where you want. So yeah, it's been a great experience so far that I don't regret any of it. Very scary though, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, when you are jumping into something different where you're so comfortable before with your job, but then you see something and you see the light. Once you've seen the light, it's hard to go back. And you know, I came back to Canada after being in Mexico, and I took on I didn't tell a lot of people, but I took on this new temporary contract job with my old employer, because they're helping implement this patient medical system to be electronic. They're still paper-based out here. And when I was doing my nursing school in Alberta, everything was all electronic there. And so
Yeah,
when I
that's
moved
where
to
it's going.
yeah, and when I moved to Vancouver, it was still paper-based. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so fast forward to like 10 plus years, they're starting to implement this program. And so it's been a very interesting project that I've wanted to get involved with, because for me, patient care is number one. I always look after my patients. I'm one hell of a nurse. Like I will take care of my patients. My patients.
You see, now this is
Yeah,
it. This is why you're so successful. That ethic there, because you know, yes, you're doing the job now because you have the freedom to work when you want. So you've
yeah,
chosen to go, do you know what? Yeah, this is part of my dream, you know, to be
yeah,
able to help people. And that's what every single one of your team say about you, is that you are always there for them. You are always ready to help. And
yeah,
I think that's, you know, I was going to ask you, what do you think is so, you hit on a few things before when you said, you know, it's hard to know, it's hard to sort of see the wood for the trees, as Minin would say, which is a northern thing. It's hard to sort the wheat from the chaff, you know, what is real and what's not real. With
yeah,
so much going online at the moment, you know, you're frightened to sort of trust anything. And I think that's what I love about this, is that, you know, we lay it wide open. Watch the webinar, see real people and their results. If you want to know more, then by all means jump in and
yeah,
opt in with that 149, which is the fully refundable
yeah,
149. Have
yeah,
a route around. Knowledge is power, right?
yeah,
And you know, if at that point you decide it's not for you, get your money back guarantee. You get your
exactly.
money back
Yeah,
immediately. And in fact, you know what? I've actually encouraged people to do that. And they're like, well, I really want in, but it's not right. Right, get your money back. You know, the important thing is keep your money as close to you as you possibly can until you're ready.
yeah,
And I love that. This is why I love this business, is that there's no hard sell, because it is what it is. And if you see something that you can believe in and trust in, and can see the community and the way that we work our training, and it's an idiot's guide to, and it's all video led, and the training's for free. There's no hidden costs. You don't have to keep paying subscription fees. Oh, and by the way, you also need to add on this and put on that. And it is what it is.
yeah.
And it's unique to find that. What do you think's most unique about our business?
What I find is very unique is the fact that the way the system's automated, it just allows you, even though you're working full time or part time, like multiple part time jobs, you still have the ability to do that and still do this business at the same time. That's what I think is very benefit. That's really good about this community and the system. Plus the people, it's the community, the people that are willing to help you out. You know, a lot of these people, like the founders that created this community and the system, they were part of other groups where people were basically like kind of like sharks. They're just coming after like your leads and all that stuff. Whereas here with our community, we have a rule that stops that from happening. And
Yeah.
so we have that support to be able to help each other. And although some of us are, I mean, not some, a lot of us are not connected financially, we still help each other. I mean, me and Becky are not connected in a way, but it's like we just like to help each other sort of boost their business, because a lot of people that I know I've watched, like those big guru guys like Grant Cardone, like Ty Lopez, like they always say you need to help other people. When you get to those level, you need to stop being selfish and start helping other people, because that's when it comes back to you afterwards. And so yeah, that's what I find beneficial. And people who are just, if they're wondering if this is the right thing for them, just I always tell them, like, where do you see yourself in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10, even 10 years? And if you just see yourself staying in the same job, maybe getting that extra bonus, or maybe getting that $1 extra an hour raise, is enough for you, then stay with the job. But if you're in that and you're not happy, you have to look somewhere else, because there's only so much time we have in our hands. Like, all the hundreds of conversations I've had, like I'm going back to my oncology patients and their family and friends, the common topic that comes around every time when they know they're nearing their end, they said I wish they had more time to see their family and friends. I wish they can see their daughter go get married. I wish I can see my nephew or my grandkids grow up. It's the time factor. We only have such limited time that you need to put that time into something that you actually enjoy doing. So if it's a day job, that if you love your day job, that's great. But if you don't love it, you're wasting your time in that. You need to find your passion. You need to find something that you enjoy doing, getting up every day. Like I find those sayings like, thank God it's Friday sort of thing. Those are sayings for people who hate their day job. It is
Yeah, 100%. But that is the greatest majority of us, though, Paolo. It's you just do sort of slip into that, what everybody else is doing.
yeah,
That's what you do. You work, for 40 years, for 40 hours a week, and then hopefully at the end of that, you'll manage to retire on 40% of your salary. And
yeah,
that's what we're brought up to believe is sort of aspirational. And I
yeah,
think that the new people, that certainly the people that are talking to me about working digitally, are looking for more than that.
yeah,
Not because they have bigger dreams than our parents had, but just because we don't have the luxury of being able to rely on a decent pension. Cost of
yeah,
living is going up. There is no job security. If 2020 taught us anything,
yeah,
God, so many of my friends have lost their jobs. And you've
yeah.
just made me cry again. The first moment we met, the first time we met, you made me cry. In a good way, not because you're being horrible, but just you really do have this way of making people think. And it's like, one of my friends today is thinking about going to Ibiza, and I'm like, do it, girl. Do
Yeah,
it. I always talk about, time being the one thing that we'll never get back. Like,
yeah,
whoever's watching this right now, wherever you are, whether you're in bed or whether you're brushing, you're having a morning cup of coffee, or whether you're pouring your first glass of wine for the evening, whether the kids have just gone down, wherever we are right now, the three of us together, we will never, ever get this moment back.
yeah.
And it's actually getting that enough to go, do you know what? You're running out of time. You are
Mm.
running out of time. How quickly did last year go?
Yeah, it went by so quick. Yeah,
So stop thinking, right, one day I'll do that. Make today that one day. Whether it's this, if it's not this, what is it? If it's
yeah.
not now, when? When? It
I've
needs to be now,
and
whatever it is.
and Becky, I don't know if you hear this when people say it's not the right time, but I found like it's never the right time. Like when I started this, I was working for that pharmaceutical company, flying at least 6 to 8 times during the month and working 10, 16-hour days, and I still found time to do this business. It's a matter of like, what is important in your life? What do you
Yeah.
want to change? Do you want to constantly be stressed and overworked, or do you want to be able to spend that quality time with your family and friends? Because I'm sure a lot of you are working from home, but it's really cutting into your personal time. Like, and it's like, I don't think it's fair that companies allow that to happen, but a lot of us are just not taught when to, like, when it's done at like 4:30, 4:35, just shut your computer. But a lot of people will still work past that. Um,
Massively. So many of my friends are like closing down, going sorting out the kids, doing tea, doing homework, putting the kids down, and then they'll go on for another few hours, or they'll juggle it between their spouses. And you know what? Honestly, Paolo, what really frightens me is that shows no sign of stopping. 50% of the biggest corporate companies have said, we're quite happy for our people to work at home. They're more productive.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, where's the work-life balance? The dream used to be working from home, didn't it? It used to be, but it's a very different animal these days.
It is.
So it is about investing in you now for the future. And it's about putting the groundwork in now.
Yeah.
I suppose I know we're short of time, lovely man.
Oh, no,
I know
that's
how
fine.
long it's been going. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
What would you say would be, what would you say to somebody who's thinking, right, I know digital is the way everything's going. I understand that. I'm not daft, but I have no experience. I don't even know what I want to do. Why should I watch this webinar? What will this give me? What's the point?
I get that question all the time, and I tell people I never had experience working in online space, but you mentioned our training is step by step. It's so step by step that we have 18-year-olds to 80-year-olds that are doing this business. People who've never know how to like turn on a computer. I
love Brenda. Are we talking about Brenda? I love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
They are killing it in this business. So, and it doesn't matter if you don't have like the experience, because the experience will come along. And I always go in that analogy of when I went to nursing school. I never knew how to become a nurse when I went to my first year nursing school. People are, and even with this business, people are always like, I want all the information right away. I'm like,
I was that person.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to have verbal diarrhea and like make you lose your head because I'm sending all this information that does not make sense to you. And same with nursing school. Nursing school, if they told me I had to put in catheters, clean blood, pee, poo, like put in like all those disgusting things, I probably would have been turned away right away in the beginning. But it's a gradual sort of thing. Like after first, second year, third year, fourth year, they will start introducing sort of things into that career, where this thing with the online business is the exact same thing. Information will come to you at gradual steps so that you learn it and absorb it. And then from there you build from it. And so that's how our system's set up. And so if you're trying to get all the information, this is probably not for you, because you are trying to
down
shortcuts. Yeah. And for me, I use that as a filter. I even have friends that are like, Paulo, just give me all the information. I'm like, Tony, I'm like, if you can't even spend 90 minutes to watch a free webinar, even though you have time to play on your PlayStation and watch movies or like do all that stuff, then this isn't for you. I mean, our business model is long-term. I mean, you have to remember that, people. It's long-term. This is something that you can pass down to your family later on down the road. So we are looking for like serious people to work with, people who want serious change, not people who just want instant gratification, because instant gratification is short and it's not long term. So
100%. And I think that's really important in that you can go at your pace. So as much as you can say, right, slow down, I think you can overload yourself with information as well, because I am unfortunate. I mean, the beauty of this business is you and I are talking, you're in Canada, I'm in England. There are so many, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, where you come from, what your background is, what your first language is. All of that is irrelevant, because there is a group for you within our family, and you will find your tribe, and you go at your pace, because it's your business. It's, I've been in like multi-level marketing companies before. I've always been used to being self-employed. So my background is media, so radio, TV. So I've always been self-employed. So I've always, I don't have some boundaries that some of the people I speak to have, which are the ones that are used to working in the corporate world. But I just think that the fact that you can go at your pace, I wanted to know everything immediately. And I can do that. I can literally sit in front of a computer for 8 hours a day and I can go learn. But it's too much, so I think the best thing to do in this business is, number one, knowledge is power. Find out more, because watch the webinar. If it's not for you, no problem. If it's for you, brilliant. The next step is for you to decide. So if you want to know more, then you buy in with the 149, which is 30-day, fully refundable. Have a route around, watch the videos, speak to people in our group who are actually doing it, from the newbies like yourself to the guys who've been doing it for years. you know, and then make that informed decision, that educated decision. And if it's not for you, brilliant. And if it's for you, then you have got your tribe with you who only want you to succeed. It's honestly, I can't believe I've been so lucky to find it. I really can't.
Me too. Yeah, I don't see anything like, and I find once you get into this, other doors open for other things. Like there's so many other things I want to do.
I know, right? Doesn't it sort of open your ideas to the possibilities?
Yeah.
And you're like, I never would have been brave enough to think that before. And
well, and the fact too, because then you're realizing with seeing other fellow colleagues and what they've been able to do for successes, you know, you're just on that same path. And so all these other ideas start popping up and like, well, I'm going to be able to do that later at some point. And so that's why I have a vision board. My vision board is so packed with a lot of things I want to do. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to, like, I know this year is going to be a good year. I know next year is going to be a good year. I mean, and if people are numbers people, I'll let you guys know. So when I started 4.5 years ago, there's only about 330-ish people that were doing this online business or connected to the system. And so that was only within North America. And then fast forward to now, there's over, I think there's close to 23,000 people now doing this business globally. So those are the numbers. I mean, that's a big substantial jump in the last 4.5 years. And it just goes to show you a lot of people are looking for that plan B now to turn to plan A at some point. And so if they always say, if you're not part of the digital world, you're just going to get left behind. I keep hearing that saying over and over again, like through like commercial, like not commercial, but in the online space, that the online space, even though it's been around for a bit, it's still a new sort of platform that there's so many opportunities out there. So,
but it's finding the right one, isn't it? It's finding the one that you can trust. I think that's the big thing. Right. So Paolo, I'm going to let you go because you're definitely ready to go. 2 questions. First of the last 2, what is the next thing for you? Obviously, I know you want to make mum comfortable, but what's your big dream?
So my next big dream is actually to, once this contract job is done, I want to actually go down to South America and travel for a year. Because I'm learning Spanish. I've been learning Spanish since summertime, so I want to actually get better and fluent at that. And at the same time, you know, take my business there. I've got other things I want to do with YouTube as well, with vlogging. So that's on the road. I want to buy properties globally also. So there's a list. It just keeps going and going. Like, so, yeah.
But you're daring to dream, and that's the thing. And thoughts become things, right?
Yeah.
You know, we know this, where focus goes, energy, where energy goes, focus flows. Anyway, the point is you can build this gives you the opportunity to build what you need to build for you and your family. And honestly, all of that will happen for you. I know it will. It will. You've been through so much and you're doing such an awesome job. I'm honored to be chatting to you tonight, my darling. Right. Final question. Yeah. If you could give yourself, your 18-year-old self, one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't let fear hold you back, and the fear of other people, like people's fear of you doing something, don't let that hold you back. Because I find when family or friends start using their fear against you, saying that because they did something similar and they weren't successful, and then think that you're going to go down that same road, don't let that hold you back. Because my ex-partner was like that, and it just kept nagging away at me over and over again. And so don't let that stop you from being able to explore something that you feel in your gut is the right thing to do. So
wow. Yeah. God, that must have been really hard one.
Yeah, it was really difficult because you always expect your spouse or partner to be there and support you, and so it was just many arguments, many things that just led to just me not being able to 100% focus on my business, because you just had someone nagging at you at the side and just saying like, oh yeah, I believe in you 100%, but I don't believe in the type of business you're doing. But I'm like, well, what is it? Like, you know, it's either or. Like, do you believe me or do you believe me?
That's really interesting though. But he must see what you're doing now. He must see the business that we're working in, and the difference that it's making, the difference it's made to your life, and must be like, oh my gosh, what an idiot.
Yeah. So who knows?
What a shame.
No, it is a shame. It definitely is a shame. And so that's the thing is like cut out that negativity from with people. I mean, you might have to make some hard choices down the road and just cut those relationships off, but you have to surround yourself with like-minded people who are going to lift you up and not judge you what you do, criticize you maybe to help you get better, but not
Do
judge you and
you
stop
think,
you.
though, do you think it's I think, to be honest with you, it's a lack of understanding. And I don't think people mean to be as negative and as skeptical. It's just that they
Yeah,
don't understand. And I think there's going to be a lot of that going forward
yeah,
because this is such a new platform for people.
yeah,
I mean, God, how did we like? I mean, I remember being on holiday with this young, beautiful girl, but she was constantly doing this and never really enjoyed anything. She was just taking
yeah,
selfies of stuff. I was like, just look at the view, love.
yeah,
Don't take it. You're missing the view because it's behind you. And
yeah,
as like somebody who wasn't used to working online, I didn't really understand what she was doing. She's probably earning flipping millions of pounds
yeah,
now. But
yeah,
it's a different platform to get your head around. And that's why I think this business is so unique in that
yeah,
you've got so many people to hold your hand. When you have a wobble and you go, I just don't get it. Like it really is step by step. You're literally watching one of our team guide you through it on their PC, or if it's questions about different platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, if it's anything at all, there will be somebody to help you. Not only at the end of a phone, because you've got your personal business and business coach and mentor, but you've got your team, your local tribe that you pull around you. Then you've got your own team, and then you've got, there is not one day where I promise you will be alone.
yeah,
And I can guarantee that any question or fear or doubt or confusion that you have, a gazillion of us haven't had the same situation happen to
mhm,
them. And you know what, babe? I think with regards to this ex of yours, he was in your life for a reason. And
yeah,
that was to show you how amazing you are and to help you believe in you. Because if somebody says it's so hard to believe the bad stuff, but
yeah,
you've got to remember the one person that you speak to most in the whole of your life is you.
yeah,
So think about what you're saying to you and don't allow anybody else to change that monologue. That monologue should constantly be, you are amazing. You've got this. You can
yeah,
do this. Whatever it is, forget the business for a minute. Whatever it is, you are amazing. You are unique. And remember that. And
yeah,
somebody will see that, but only the right person will see the person that for who you are, despite and because of who you are.
yeah,
So don't let any losers in. Just no,
yeah,
close those gates, game over. Thanks for coming.
yeah.
You were right, laugh, but jog on.
Yeah, no, and that's right. Like you meet people for a reason. Like even though it's short term, long term, I always find like any of the exes I dated, I always find something that benefited me from that
Totally,
experience. Yeah, so
totally.
yeah,
We are a sum of all our parts and experiences, my lovely man.
yeah.
Right, I shall finally let you go. You take care of you. And honestly, Paolo, thank you so much for being with me tonight.
Oh,
It's
you're
been an
welcome.
absolute pleasure. And no doubt we'll talk again.
Yes, thank you for having me so much.
Darling, it's absolutely my pleasure. You take care of you.
Okay,
See you
bye.
soon, lovely. Bye.